If I have to pick between being alone in the woods with a man or with a bear, I'm picking the bear every time.
Hi guys, welcome back to our channel. In case you're new here, my name is Maren.
And I'm Maureen.
Yeah, so guys, I don't know how many of you have heard about the very viral trend that's asking, would you pick a bear or pick a man?
Yeah, now this trend has been going viral on TikTok, and it's where women are being asked. A lot of women have been asked, should they get lost in the woods, who would they rather encounter, a bear or a man?
Right.
Most of them chose to encounter a bear rather than encountering a strange man, and most men supported the ideology. A few men were very upset with women picking the bear over the man.
And guys, I'll ask you everybody to calm down first.
So let's just watch and then we come back and talk about it.
Never had to choose between a bear and a man in the woods. I have had to choose between a pack of dogs and a pack of men. So all of this talk about the bear and the man has had me thinking about this story. I was in my late teens, walking from my house to the beach in the middle of the day. And it was about a 45-minute walk, and part of it was along like an industrial estate kind of area. So I'm walking along, and this pack of dogs, about 6 or 7 dogs, start walking towards me. And they're like shaking, and there's saliva, and they weren't even barking, they were like snarling. Like it was quite scary. This wasn't like a bunch of golden retrievers coming towards me. And so I took a right and I went into the closest like workplace, factory type thing, and I walked into this like open place shed, and as soon as I walked in, this grown man goes, "Oh, look what we have here, boys." And then another one of the guys goes, "Oh, it's our lucky day." And then I explained, I was like, "Oh, there's some dogs out on the road." And then this third guy goes, "Oh, there's some dogs in here too, love." And thank God I had my running shoes on. I just backed out. I was like, sorry. And I went back out onto the street. The dogs were still there, right? So I was like literally stuck there going, is it the men or is it the dogs? Thinking, of course, I'd gone in there for assistance. So I just started walking slowly towards the dogs, stayed quite still, and they came towards me. They sort of sniffed me a little bit, and then they just walked on their way and carried on. And I walked to the beach. Never went that way again, but I'll tell you what, I choose the bear.
Choose the bear. And I would choose the bear over and over again. Even if I was mauled by a bear, I would still choose the bear. I would choose the bear for my 5-year-old daughter. Why would I choose the bear? Because I've experienced men. I've experienced the hatred and the evil that men can possess. I had a man rape me repeatedly. I had to flee my hometown and join the army to escape him. And for years after, he would find ways to contact me through social media, and even had the audacity to tell me that he missed me and that I was the best fuck he ever had. I choose the bear, because a bear would not do that. But you know who would? A man.
I'm just popping on first so you don't get annoyed and keep scrolling. I'll be right back after this clown.
The man or the bear? All of you just repeat the same fucking talking points on this app. None of you are free thinkers. None of you have a brain cell that's original. Let's characterize all men as savage bears, or worse than that. That is disgusting. Because there's a lot of men that have heart-ons. We're heart-centered. We love women. I'd much rather live in a cave with bears than a woman, because bears don't fucking get on this app and complain all the time.
I love women. I'd rather live in a cave with bears because at least they don't complain. If you haven't seen it on social media, there's been a trend lately. A question was posed to women on the street, and that was simply, if you were lost in the woods, would you rather encounter a strange man or a bear? And overwhelmingly, women said bear. And then fragile dudes like that got all upset about it. It's not fair to lump us all in with Maybe it has something to do with the fact that on a regular daily basis, women don't feel threatened by bears. I mean, I was literally scrolling before I made this video and just happened upon this. This was a woman who decided to sit on the steps in front of her apartment. Fortunately, she has a Ring camera. And she caught this interaction with a strange man she does not know.
Please leave. Back the fuck away from me. Back up. Before I call 911. Back the fuck up. I said back the fuck up! Back up! I know everybody in this fucking apartment complex. Go the fuck away from me. No! Go!
Okay. Oh, but a bear might kill you. Really? 2000 to 2015 broke down to, on average, just about 40 bear conflicts a year. Interactions with bears that were negative. Only about 85% of those resulted in injury, and just over 14% were actually fatal. I mean, you have better odds of getting hurt in a car accident than from a bear. And on top of that, you know what a bear won't do? It won't sexually assault you. Someone is sexually assaulted in America every 73 seconds. 433,648 victims aged 12 or older in the United States alone every single year. 1 out of every 6 American women has been the victim of an attempted or completed R-word. 1 out of every 10 is a male, but that means 9 out of every 10 is a woman. And as if that wasn't bad enough, I saw a comment from a woman who said, "At least the bear would leave scars, and then people would believe me." And boy, does she have a point, because factoring in unreported grapes, only about 6% of grapists ever serve a day in jail. That means 94% do not. If a grape is reported, there is a 50% chance of an arrest. If an arrest is made, there's about an 80% chance that it goes to prosecution. If there's a prosecution, about a 58% chance of conviction. Only 6% see jail time. I saw a post by a woman. She said she was a wildlife and fisheries biologist, and she spent months in the woods amongst bears. And during that time, she was only attacked once by a man on her college campus. And that following semester, she hiked a lot because she didn't like the fact that she had to see him all the time on campus. She would go into the woods where she was safe with the bears.
Are y'all realizing that myself and other women are saying bear because we would quite literally rather die? And then we have some people saying, well, not all bears, just because one bear did it doesn't mean that all bears would do it. You shouldn't be scared of all bears. Let's get a lineup of bears and you show me which one I should be fucking scared of. In this Target right now, you point out to me which men I should and should not be fucking scared of. Well, I don't know. Exactly. At least a bear wouldn't fucking show videos and photos and dap up their buddies after. At least a bear couldn't say the words, well, she liked it, she asked for it. A bear would probably leave you alone even after you were dead. To get most bears to leave you alone, all you have to do is scream loud enough. Can't say the same. Women are asking their guy best friends, their boyfriends, their husbands, their fucking fathers, and they're all saying the same thing. Why do you think that is? Bears don't grasp the concept of wrong and right, but you know who does. At least a bear didn't pretend to be your friend for months beforehand just to get what it wanted in the end.
I was about 6 or 7 years old when my parents first told me about what it means to be abducted. One of the things my father told me was to never let them take me to the second location. In essence, be prepared to die where you are, rather than let them take you to whatever place they're planning on taking you to. At the age of 6 and 7 years old, I was being prepped to learn to lay my life down before I let a man put me into a car, into the back of a truck, inside whatever building he's trying to lead me into. Because my dad said there would be more dignity in a death in a parking lot than there would be waiting for me at the next location. I also had to learn that there are some things that are worse than death, and that yes, if you get taken to the next location, it is possible that rather than death, you get a life of torture and torment. I was 16 years old the first time someone tried to abduct me. I was pumping gas at a gas station, and a man came over to my car and said that he had lost his wallet underneath the seat of his car and he can't reach, and would I come help him get his wallet out. Against my better judgment, I leaned inside of his car and reached down underneath the seat to try to find this wallet that was missing. And just in time, I heard a shuffle over my shoulder, and I jumped out of the car as fast as I could to see this man lunging toward me, about to push me inside of his car. But I ran all the way back to my car screaming, knowing full well if he had a gun, he was going to shoot me in the back, but that there was more dignity in a death in that parking lot than there was wherever that car was planning on taking me. And that's if I got the privilege of death. This is why women say we'd rather be trapped with a bear than a man. You don't have to fear a fate worse than death with a bear. You know what its intentions are up front. And the fact that little girls receive this training from girlhood, that girls learn at such a young age how to be prepared to die in place rather than let themselves be taken somewhere else, should tell you everything you need to know about why this is even a conversation.
A bear. You'd really rather be out in the forest with a bear. Like, these girls are losing their minds. You know what that is? That is a classic cultural gaslighting tactic. I saw someone sharing a story about somebody getting eaten by a bear and how it took 6 minutes. I would take those 6 minutes over the 18 hours that I spent trapped with a man. I would take those 6 minutes. Like, best case scenario, you come across a bear in the woods, it goes past you. Best case scenario, you come across a man in the woods, it goes past you. Worst case scenario, the bear eats you. It takes 6 minutes. Ouch, that sucks. Worst case scenario with a man. I can't even say it on here. Like, worst case scenario with a man is things like what Bundy would do. Like, worst case scenario with a man, I end up on a true crime podcast. Y'all heard those details? Have y'all heard how long? Like 6 minutes if you're lucky. I would take the bear. I would take the bear any damn day of the week. And I love the way that our culture continually just tries to make women just seem like they're crazy. Like, it's just like, oh, no, you wouldn't. Yes, baby, I would. And I really, really hope that you never go through half of the things that I've been through.
I would like to comment on this bear situation because I was chased by a bear. In the woods, alone. I meet all the qualifications to comment on this. I was a cross-country runner in college, working in Colorado on a 6-mile run by myself when a bear pops out behind me and starts running at me. Now, this is a brown bear, not a black bear. This is a big bear, and it starts running at me. And what you're supposed to do is what I did. I turned around, I threw my hands up, I started running back at it for 3 quick steps, and I yelled, "Hey, bear," at the top of my voice. That is equivalent to yelling no for a bear. It's letting you know you're not food. What did the bear do? The bear stopped. It stopped in its tracks. We stared at each other for about 5 seconds, and then you know what? The bear left. The bear left.
By now, you've probably seen and heard a lot of this discourse about the bear situation. If a woman is in the woods, would she much rather come across a bear or a man? And most women choose a bear. The idea that there are so many men who are angered by the fact that women would choose a bear, to me, proves the point. How quickly they invalidate a woman's experience. These men and some misguided women are out here saying, oh, so you're really in fear of men all the time? Yes. You don't know that? You don't know that that's why we decide to jog during the day and not at night? That's why we have the pepper spray on our keychain. That's why we go places in groups. That's why we don't like talking to random men at night in parking lots. That's why we don't like to give men our phone numbers. That's why we check under the beds when we get into hotel rooms and we check the shower. Where have you been? Where have you been? Have you no sisters, no daughters, no mothers, no female friends? Where have you been? I saw somebody say, oh, so if a bear is attacking you, I'm just going to stand by and watch. You usually do. You act like men always step in. Men usually say stuff like, I don't know what they got going on. I don't know what she said to him. You're usually scared of other men. I'd rather take my chances with a bunch of women being around because they're more likely to step in. Y'all acting as if y'all always protect women. Y'all are quick to say who you wouldn't protect and why.
Okay, so I need the men to understand something here. I need you to stop internalizing and think about how troubling it is that so many women are choosing the bear. That's all you need to know, right? To even question it, why is you're missing the point. It's troubling in itself that so many women are choosing the bear. There's a reason for it. So any man who questions that, like you're thinking about it from your own perspective, right? Like you may not be a man who is trying to harm women or hurt women in any way. So you're like, you'd rather be in the woods with a bear instead of me? No, stupid. Just like you're thinking about it from your perspective of a man that may not have any interest in harming a woman, they're thinking about it from their perspective. When they hear the question, would you rather? They're thinking about the men that have harmed them. They're thinking about their experience. So many women have at minimum harassed extensively and victimized by men, right? Some on more than one occasion. So when they hear the question, a bear or a man, they're like, men have done me harm, right? So I'm gonna take my chances with this bear. That's what you need to understand. And I don't think as long, I know this conversation has been going on for a while, but it doesn't matter how long it's been going on. There's never going to be enough men to speak on this because men are the primary perpetrators. So it has to be men speaking out and giving it from a male perspective, because it's just like SA, right? Men are the primary perpetrators. So men have to stand up and say something, because women have been saying it for years and it's like falling on deaf ears, and they're preaching to the choir at this point. So stop comparing yourself to the bear and think about why so many women are choosing the bear, right? It baffles me just for a moment. It's troubling. And there's a reason why. And the fact that you're arguing it actually is proving their point. Like, you're not listening. I'm trying to tell you that you are a danger, that I've experienced danger at your hands or the hands of people like you. But you're like, I wouldn't hurt you. Like, what? Shut up.
So welcome back, guys. So in case you didn't know about the trend of would you rather choose the bear or a man, that is what is happening on the internet, right?
Right. And when we first heard of this trend, it was because of an incident that happened here in Kenya, in our very own country. A young lady aged 17 years old, that is still a baby according to us.
She's a child and she's still a school girl.
Yeah, a 17-year-old girl was lured by, I don't know if it was 4 men, I don't know how many men they were. So the girl was lured by these men and they were telling her to just go and say hi to them. They were in a car. And then I don't know how they managed to kidnap her, took her to a second location where they essayed her, and after they were done, they tied her at the back of their vehicle and they drove with her on the back of the vehicle. So she lost almost half of her face,
because
including her ear, and she lost parts of her meaty area on her ribs. Both her ribs were showing and had holes. As in, it was just a gruesome scene that happened to this girl. And after they did all this to her by dragging her through the road, they were hoping to erase evidence of what they had done to her, which they successfully did. Now this girl, they left her on the roadside thinking she was dead, but she held on long enough to be taken to the hospital, but she later succumbed to her injuries. And this was really enraging Kenyans. And it was through this video that we started seeing the tags of
I choose the
bear versus man, and we were wondering what is the phrase, how is it related to what had happened to this young girl.
So we decided to go into a deep dive, and that's how we came about this very trendy topic. And it's on TikTok. If you go, you look for I choose the bear, you see people's account, and I'm telling you, it's very horrific what people are going through out here. Okay, so we just have to say, because there are those men who really got annoyed and got angry at these women being asked if they would choose a bear or a man if they're found lost in a forest, and they got angry that women were choosing the bear. So I'm very happy because they also followed up with the explanations and said why they would rather choose a bear.
Yeah,
you understand?
Yeah.
And from what they're saying is, to be honest, in Kenya there are no bears. We've never encountered bears. There's no chance that any Kenyan would ever encounter a bear in Kenya unless one is imported, right? So I was wondering, because you can't picture a scenario if you've not been into it. So me, I'm going to be honest. When I first heard the question, would you rather pick a bear or pick a man, if you're a strange man, would you rather choose to be stuck in a forest with a bear or a strange man? I was like, oh my goodness, I'm not going to pick a bear. I don't want to be,
me, I was like, I wouldn't pick either, but not picking either was not a choice. But Maren, she said she didn't know why she'd pick a bear, so she
I decided man. I didn't choose the man, but my first answer was I would definitely not pick a bear,
And my first answer, before we even saw these threads, just when we saw the caption there, my first answer was between encountering a bear or a strange man. I automatically defaulted to choose the bear.
Really?
I did. I defaulted to choose the bear before I started following these threads. And then my reasoning was that a strange man, you wouldn't know the background of any man you meet. So for you to be stuck there with them, worst case scenario, this man, okay, guys, please don't take this the wrong way, but almost all women, if not all women, will see your manly operators as weapons.
Yeah,
you get what I'm saying? So they will first see your manly apparatus as weapons before they see it as something not to be afraid of. As in,
yeah, you're making sense, because let me tell you what is happening in Congo right now, just as a small default.
Yes.
What's in Congo right now, essays are being used against women and children as punishment and as terrorist acts. So you guys know what we mean by these can become tools of violence.
They can be weaponized against women, because in Congo, again, the militia that is devastating the eastern Congo where the minerals are, these people, imagine they assault kids as young as 4 years old, and for young girls like us who refuse to work in the mines, they'll all essay you until you accept or agree to work in those mines, and you work for no pay. You literally become their slave.
So you guys, let us know what you think about this episode. And then again, there's the account of another woman who was talking about she's never experienced a bear, but she was saying in real life situation, this is not made up, you can't make up such things. She was walking, going to the beach. I know you guys remember that story. She was going to the beach, and then she encountered
a pack of dogs,
6 of them,
and she ran away and chose a pack of men.
It wasn't even just normal dogs, the angry looking one, the ones that are dripping with,
those kinds.
In my eyes, I really see those dogs like dogs that really can attack you,
Right.
Only for her to run into an empty building and meet a pack of men who were behaving even worse than the dogs. If she would have
chose to go out there where the dogs were dangerous, other than remaining with these men who would have definitely harmed her.
And she took her chances, and the dogs didn't do her anything. So you guys, I'm saying, in a normal society, let's just say in a perfect world, right? This is your sister. If someone comes to you with such a problem, the best thing is, as a group, help her walk through that road and show the dogs that, because at the end of the day, at the end of the day, the dogs are animals, not you. You understand? So, but anyway, guys, you know where we're going with this. So I don't know, you let us know what you think about this episode.
Yeah, because also there's this famous saying that usually goes, when a man is locked with 5 strange women in a room, the man is most likely to come out of there without any harm, and the man will not be afraid.
Won't feel unsafe,
The man will not feel unsafe. But when a woman is locked in a room with 5 men, this woman automatically feels unsafe,
and it's not because of the dangers that are lurking outside the room. It's the danger that she's in when she's locked in that room with the 5 men.
Because she doesn't know what these 5 men will do.
It just takes one person to incite the others. Let me tell you, that is why you have situations that happen in Egypt. I know you guys, if you watch those kind of documentary, you know what we mean. It's where we have the situations happening in countries like Egypt, in countries like India, and then you ask yourself, it takes one person to incite the others.
Right. So guys, most ladies, if not all ladies, at least the ones I know, when we are usually young, let me talk of mine and my sister's situation. When we were young, I know for a fact that every young child who's a girl used to be sat down and they were given this talk of, if this and this ever happened to you, the steps to follow and tell a guardian, your guardian, you know, if someone touches you inappropriately, do this and that. Nowadays, even young boys have started being given the talk, because in this messed up world, they're not being exempted anymore from things that girls go through, you know. So, guys, I don't know. I think like women are at the best place to understand this bear versus man's situation, and the only man who would understand this situation is a man who has gone through it, or a man who has a sister, or a man who is just generally sensitive to what the ladies are talking about, and they know, because I think we'll do another edition. There's another edition where now the men were coming out to speak, and this one I'm thinking they're playing for the same, you know, sex relationship. Yeah, but I was referring to another. There's also that one, but there's another one where also an edition of fathers. Yeah, where fathers are being asked, would you rather your daughter got stuck in the forest with a bear or a strange man? The fathers themselves say, I'd rather my daughter be stuck in the woods with a bear than a man, because as you know, and as we've been told, a bear might let you live, and if you know how to handle them and chase them away, what those people say, you raise up your hands and say no bear, they'll leave you alone. But a man, how many times have we had cases where women or any other person who's been essayed say, I said no, but they still went ahead, they don't listen. So you guys, let's just leave it there. Let us know what you think about this episode. We hope we shed light into the trend that is going on TikTok, or should we say the internet, and hopefully we hope that you found value in our episode. As usual, we thank you so much for joining us. Let's see you on our next episode. Please consider subscribing if you have not.